Okay, so welcome to day number 2 of Gmail, our Gmail week where we learn to use Gmail as professionals. Today we're going to do a couple important things, but just some housekeeping. In the next couple weeks, I will be coming to Los Angeles to our campus in Santa Fe Springs. Well, the good news is Nolan Bushnell will be there too. So that will be an opportunity to invite all of your friends and families and your what are they called? Not the caseworkers, but whatever they're called, the people who enabled you to come to Larson, to get them there because it's a great opportunity. Yes, and so some people here can take a field trip. If it's okay with Lieutenant Scally, that's fine with me. So that's a little bit of housekeeping. I got a couple good emails from Nolan yesterday. Really likes what we're doing. He's checked around and nobody else is doing what we're doing in terms of teaching people how to use the cloud and some of the other stuff that we do. So we're all to be congratulated for that. And since he lives and works in LA, he would like to use the Los Angeles campus as kind of the experimenting center, the test tube, the showcase place that he can use for other important people to come by and see what we have. So I think this could be the start of something really good. Now, let's prepare for today's class. So we are focusing on what's the Google app we're doing today? Gmail. Gmail, right. Okay, and what are some of the things that we're going to do in Gmail?
Change the font. Change.
Signature, okay. What, Lisa?
Change the font.
Change the font in what?
In your email.
Change the font in our emails, okay. Labs, okay.
I thought they said we didn't have to use labs.
No, not on this. Well, you're not using labs, so we're setting it up. Yours should already be set up. Okay, what else? What else do we have? What else does it say in the instructions for today's class?
Accounts.
Right. And accounts. So those are the three things we're going to work on. I am going to I'm going to get the screen working here. Are there any questions in California about Gmail that I can answer before we jump in?
No questions just yet, Ed.
Okay, good. So let me take my screen and share it. Okay, so that's my screen, which I'll put on up over here. Okay, so the important thing is to do your best to follow along. Just follow along as best you can. So what I'm going to do first is launch Gmail. Okay, so if you look over there on the big screen, and Dennis, in California, you can see my screen, right?
Yeah.
Okay, good. And we want to go to, let's do labs first. Okay, how do we get to labs? Who knows?
Yep. Settings.
Okay, how do we get to settings?
Go to
The gear.
Go to the gear, right. Okay, good. And then we click on settings. Now, along under where it says settings over here, you see where it says settings? Does anybody not see the word settings? So everybody see the red word, a button that says compose on their screen?
yeah.
Okay, anybody not see the compose button? Who sees the compose button? I'm going to turn it around that way. Okay, Luis, you don't see the compose button? You do, okay. How about you, Monica? Okay. Do you see the settings button, Monica? Okay. You don't see it, Lisa?
See that?
No, it's on the left. Now, it's over on the left side near the red compose button. Okay.
Black.
Yes, it's in black. Now, right below that, it says general, and then there's other, they're not tabs, but they're like tabs that we can click on and take us to places. Down towards the right, you see one that says labs.
Yes.
Okay, click on labs. And then your screen should change to something that looks like this. Okay, now how are you doing in California?
We're doing good,
Thank
Ed.
you.
Good. Okay. Now, most of the labs we are going to enable. Some labs we're not going to enable because they're just too complicated for our purposes. And, you know, it's just unnecessary confusion. Because I've already configured my labs, they're going to be in different order than some people. So does anybody have it? So the first one is different from authentication icon for verified senders.
Yes.
Okay, what is yours say, Lisa?
App search. Then authenticated icon.
Okay, so app search should be disabled.
It is the same.
Okay. Okay, now, so that should be app search should be disabled. What is the next one you have, Dominic? Okay. So authentication icon for verified senders should be enabled. It just puts a little symbol, like if you look to the left where it says welcome to eBay, you see that? Okay, so it puts that little key on there that makes it, that verifies it is eBay or whatever it is. If you see that key, that means it's real. It's not somebody pretending. That's called phishing. Okay, what's the next one you have, Lisa? Okay, so auto advance should be enabled. Okay. Now, most of these, we don't need to go through what they are or why they are. It's just going to make your, bring you to the professional level of Gmail. Canned responses, is that the next one? Okay, that should be enabled. Enable your canned responses. So we talked about that yesterday. And it's not really email for the truly lazy. This is email for the really productive. Okay, to have canned responses, especially when it comes to business. Okay, what's the next one? Okay, custom keyboard shortcuts should be disabled. Okay, again, that's just beyond what we do. That's if you're somebody who's really a power Gmail user and you like having all of this stuff, that's for you. But that's not for us. It's just extra levels of confusion to do. Okay, what's the next one? Google Calendar Gadget, enable that. You want to be able to show your Google Calendar, the upcoming events, locations, and details. So over on my screen, it's closed. If you look at the TV for a second, and you watch that, now it's loaded my calendar. You see in the lower left? So it puts your calendar over on the lower left. Yeah. Okay, so that, it's not a complete look at your calendar, but it's a little snapshot of this week that you can scroll through. Okay, so if on your left side of your screen, down at the lower left, you can see where it says Google Calendar, and there's a plus sign. Does anybody see that? Okay, so it would be right here. So below your email thing, it says Google Calendar. Okay, if there's a plus there, click on the plus. That will open it up. That's Google Calendar. If it doesn't, don't worry about it. Okay, what's the next one? Google Maps previews in Mail. Enable that. Okay, so that enables you to, if there's an address, so what it says, it shows Google Map previews of all of the addresses found in an email. So if there's an address in an email, you can click on it, it'll get you to the map of where that is. It's just sometimes a good feature to have. Next, Google Voice Player, okay? Lets you play voicemails left on your Google Voice account right from your email notifications. So enable that. Because you want to have your Google Voice set up so that it will send a text or a voice message to your inbox. Just makes it easier to get to it. Okay, what's next? Mark as read button. Okay? Enable that. So that enables you to not have to open up emails. Like you know what it is, it's, you know, say it's from Target or something like that. You don't want to open it, you don't want to take the time to open it, you can just mark it as read. What's next? Multiple inboxes disabled. Again, that's just something that's way too complicated. It's a great tool, but it's very complicated. Okay. Don't need that now. What's next? Okay, Picasa previews in Mail. So whenever you have a link, it'll show you the picture. That's something that will become more important in the future. You enable it now. Probably you're not going to notice it, but as more people start putting pictures on Picasa, that will become be used more. Okay, what's next? Okay, pictures in chat. See your friends' profile pictures when you chat with them. That's just a nice little feature. And so also over on the right side of your screen where you have all of your chat people, if they have a picture, it'll show the picture. That's a little bit easier to find people. Okay, what's next?
Preview pane.
Preview pane. Okay, this should be enabled. It just makes it easier and faster. Next. Yes, next. Quick links. Add a box to the left column that gives you one-click access to any bookmarkable URL in Gmail. Use it for maybe frequent searches, important individual messages, and more. So you want to do enable. So I have it on mine. I just opened it. I don't have any quick links. Okay, what's next?
Code selected.
Quote selected text. Yeah, so enable that. I'm not sure exactly how that works, but I might always use it. It might be what I think is what it is how it works. So quote selected text. Okay, what's next?
Right side chat.
Right side chat. Move the chat box to the right side of the inbox. So it just makes it easier to navigate. So you want to enable it. So if you look at my screen again, over on the right, those are all the chat people, all the people I can chat with.
Some of it's good stuff.
Well, you have to chat with them.
Do you know who's online?
Okay, what's next?
Smart labels.
Smart labels. So smart labels is another one of those things that's just way too complicated. So
Right.
disable that. Okay, that one.
send, the guy was.
Okay, undo send, very important.
So enable that.
Very important to have that because you will make a mistake at some point. You push send, then you notice you have a typo in there, something like that. So enable undo send. What else does anybody have?
Unread message icon.
Right, unread message icon. So that should be enabled. And so what that does is at the top of your screen on the tab, it tells you how many unread messages are in your box. So you don't have to open it to find out if you have any. Okay, what else? Yelp should be disabled. When you're done, now when we're done, you need to save the changes.
Changes.
So at the very bottom, save changes. Click on the save change button. If you do not save the changes are not saved. Okay, does anybody have any questions about labs?
So we went into settings.
Okay, well it will. Might have to refresh. Anybody have any other questions? Okay, so let's go back up to the top where it says labs, and next to that it says offline. So let's click on offline. Okay, so if you are not in settings, go back to settings. You don't have to go to labs, just go to settings. So click on offline. It's not labs, this is next to labs, it's called offline. And then if you have a thing that says install Gmail offline, go ahead and do that.
And if you have something that says install offline, offline, so it's offline.
And follow the instructions. So that you have your Gmail offline installed.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I clicked on it and got a screen up. Did you get anything else?
Okay.
On there now. Email offline, perhaps.
Good. So now, so how do you test whether you have Gmail offline? So go to your apps button, which is in the upper left corner of your bookmarks bar. And if you have it, it looks like this. It's a blue M. So if you see on my screen, on the big screen on the end, there's a blue N that says Gmail offline. That will be in your apps page.
How do I get there?
Yes.
Oh, add it to phone.
Okay, so you want to have Gmail offline. So
Oh,
that you can work on your Gmails when you're not online, and when you get online, it will automatically send.
Okay, so we can work on that.
Yeah, it's like working on Box offline. Okay. Now, is everybody done with that?
yeah. There is. Nice.
Okay, anybody not done?
Oh, what is all this?
Okay, so we're going to move forward. Okay, so now we're back in settings. We did labs, we did offline. The next one says themes.
Hey, wait a minute. We got there.
Now, here's where You should not choose a theme when you're at work unless it's the company's theme. Because if your boss looks over your shoulder and you have some kind of goofy theme, they're going to think you don't take work seriously, that you're not really committed to the cause. This is really, themes is really for people who are not using Gmail as professionals. They're using it as their personal. So one of the things that is very bad for your career is if you have some kind of goofy theme and your boss sees it on your thing, unless you work at a place where they like goofy. This is something that you just got to be very careful about. Most people don't think about it, and they just jump right in and do it because it makes them feel good. They don't think about their employer. And when you're at work, if you want to get ahead, you need to think about what your employer wants. Okay? So you don't gain a lot by doing this. So that's where you can change the theme. Okay. Now let's go back up to that top, and to the left of Labs it says Chat. Make sure it says Chat on. Okay. Now, to the left of Chat it says what?
Forwarding and pop IMAP.
Forwarding and pop/IMAP. Okay. We are not going to use this because we don't want to forward our Gmails. We want other things forwarded to our Gmail. So like I was saying yesterday, you go to work with a company, you convince them you're going to move them to the cloud. They say, what's the first thing we need to do? Well, the first thing we need to do is get everybody a Gmail account. You need to then go into the old accounts and have those emails forwarded to the Gmail. So on the other email, there's something called forwarding and hotmail. So if you are, Dominic at hetsapetsacorp.com or at hetsapetsa.com, you can have that forwarded to your Gmail. Now, the webmaster at that business, they know how to do it. You don't need to know how to do it. You just need to know their old emails need to forward to their Gmail account. Okay?
No, okay.
And we're going to look at the next one, which is called what? To the left. Filters. Okay, so filters. So if you look at the screen, these are all the filters that I have created.
So it filters everything that I want.
So what a filter does is it takes emails that come into your inbox and it filters them. So some of them could be spam or something you want to delete. You can filter it, so if you get an email from this place, just delete it. Or you get an email from this place, you can put it in a certain folder. It enables you to keep track of stuff. If you have other emails, so for example, if your Gmail account, if you have, let's say, a Yahoo account, okay, if you have a work account, let's say you have a Hotmail or an MSN account, and you want to forward those to your Gmail. What that means is you don't need to go check the inboxes of those. You forward them, so you only need to go to one place. All you need to do is go to your Gmail account. But when it comes into your Gmail account, you might want to have them automatically organized. Like if it comes from your Yahoo account, you might want it to go into your here and then go into a folder called Yahoo, right? Or go into a folder called Hotmail, or a folder called Work. Does everybody get that concept? The email comes into your Gmail account and you want it to automatically go somewhere else. You might want it to go to your boss.
How does it filter all the mail that you don't want it? But I need to
The
filter.
email comes in from a particular person, customer or something, or into the sales department or the graphics people. You might want somebody sends an email in here, it goes somewhere else. That is called filtering. All of these things are called filtering. So you set up an instruction in Gmail that says, if an email comes in from my Yahoo account, put it in a Yahoo folder. If it comes in from my work account, put it in this work folder. Or if it comes in from this particular company, also forward it to my boss or delete it. That's what filtering is. It says, okay, let's create a rule that if an email comes in and we want to do something other than have it go to our inbox, that's called filtering. So this is very good. If you have a personal Yahoo account, you set up a filter that says if a Yahoo account, an email from my Yahoo account comes in, send it to the Yahoo folder. When I open my Gmail, all I have to do is go to the Yahoo folder and I'll see all of the emails that were sent to my Yahoo account. Just like having my Yahoo account open. Everything sent to Yahoo comes into my Gmail, goes into a Yahoo folder so I know where it is. Okay, that's pretty cool. That's what filtering is. And it's very easy to set it up. And we'll talk about that probably tomorrow, maybe today. Now the next thing on that, so that's filters. Now let's click on the button that says accounts and import. Is what all in here. Accounts and import. So I have it here on the screen. So all that's on your screen, I'll be pointing to it up here. So here are the settings. Here's the choices. One that's black, one that's looking. Over on the left column has the settings. Account settings. Password, three options. Manifest first. Manifest last Monday, 19. Password. Monday. They go in there. Your password. That's cool. Import mail and contacts. Now, this is sort of like forwarding, but instead of going to that account and forwarding, like your Yahoo account, forwarding email, this is from your email account going out there, basically sucking it. So I have mine set up that I import from my Yahoo. It regularly goes out. I don't know how often it is, but it regularly goes out, checks my Yahoo, and then pulls it in. You don't know how to forward. It's not easy. Find out how do I go about forwarding from my other account. Now, the next one is the important one we talked about yesterday. Being able to send mail ads. And to be honest, they're yours. I have a lot of things. Right? I don't have
Accounts and import, he hasn't set it yet.
This is a great feature. Email. This enables you to send emails from different email addresses. So you can send an email from your Gmail, send an email from your Yahoo account, work account. And when people receive emails from you, they can email that they get then from. I have
So I don't have to open email from your
13 different email addresses I can send from.
automatically will import
Well,
into
I
that.
have my
To the Gmail?
Larson centers, admin at Larson.
But automatically, once I send you an email to your Yahoo account, automatically it will go to your Gmail, right? Yeah. Email as Yahoo account address. But if you filter it here at the Gmail.
He said he's gonna go over it after. He's gonna go over it. Yeah, I mean, you can, but that's if you want for it to hear it. If you have another account, yeah, go for it. Like when it filters. Like say you go over it after that. I know. I have a Yahoo account, so I don't have to go to Yahoo and go to Gmail. Yahoo to my Gmail. That's a lot. Infinite junk.
Oh, FOJ Publishing. It's back to the person as admin at FOJ Publishing.
My Gmail. I will look up, but I don't want them into it. They're all separate, but whatever.
Question says, when replying to a message,
On your phone?
watch.
I have them all. I only have Yahoo and Gmail. I have them.
When replying to a message, you got your choice of replying from the same address the message was sent, or replying to your email. More than one account. One is
Yeah, the lucky yeah. On Facebook, they show this dog when they go to sleep. They actually have to sing them pacifier. You have to see when he literally goes to sleep. He goes to sleep like a baby. He's like 8 months old. That is so funny. Yeah, like baby dog.
So that's under accounts and setting. That is a very important thing because when you go to the employer, you convince them, hey, I can help you get to the cloud. What's the first thing we do? Well, the first thing is we give everybody a Gmail account. Once they have their Gmail account, each person like you will have to, they'll have to go into their Gmail account and be able to text things out. It's very important. Webmaster will go into their work account and forward it. Set up to be able to send as their work account.
Ed,
Yes.
we can hardly hear you.
Oh, okay, yeah. That's because I was on the other end of the room.
All right, thank you.
What I was saying is this accounts and import is very important when you go to work, when you're hired, because you're going to help them move to the cloud, because the employer will say, okay, well, what's the first thing we do? And you say, we got to get everybody a Gmail account. Once they do that, the next thing is their webmaster, the network administrator, needs to set up everybody's work account to forward to their Gmail account, to the new account that was set up for them. And then, though, all of the employees need to go into their Gmail account, and they need to be able to set this up so they can send from their work account. Then it becomes transparent to people sending emails. You don't know that it's being forwarded. You don't know that they're sending it from their Gmail account. You're getting it from their work account. And for us as people, it makes it easy to have multiple accounts that you don't have to keep switching back and forth of, okay, I've got my Yahoo open, I've got my work account, I've got my Gmail, I'm working in, what is the Microsoft contacts, Outlook, yeah. You don't have to be dealing with Outlook in here. You don't have to have all those things open. You just have to have Gmail, your Gmail account. Okay? So that's accounts and imports. Let's look at inbox. Now, this should be set up where it has inbox type. You should set it up so it says unread first. Okay, so that's, see that? That's that box right here. Unread emails first. That just makes it very easy. It makes it easy for you to be productive. Okay? So that makes it easy to keep your inbox clean. It sort of forces you to deal with emails that you've received that you haven't opened, because they're still going to show up where, Ed? They're going to show up on the main thing under unread, because you haven't opened them up. If you don't have it set up, if you have it set up to default, what's going to happen to unread emails? They're going to get buried down. As new emails come in, it pushes all the old emails down. Something's going to disappear. If your unread emails are always at the top in a separate box, separate window, you're going to have to deal with them at some point. And the good news is you can just check the box to the left of the email and push your mark as read button. So you don't have to open if you don't want to. Okay, so you see now inbox sections, unread, and then everything else.
I have one.
Huh? Now down below it says filtered mail. Do you see that? Okay, so you probably want to check don't override filters. Okay, you might not be doing a filter now. Okay, the next one to the left is called labels. If you look at to the left of inbox. No. Okay, so next, labels. If you look at my screen, you'll see I have a bunch of labels. As you use this more, you'll create labels. It just makes it easier to do things. So if you get a lot of emails from a particular person, you're going to want to label it. You're going to want to keep them all together. In Microsoft Outlook, that's like folders. You have separate folders for people. In Gmail, they do everything by search, right? Because Google was a search company. So instead of saying, well, we're going to put things in separate folders, they said, we don't need to do that. You can just search for your email. But to make it easy, you can label it. That's just another way of finding things. Okay, now lastly, and the most important one, click on the General tab.
Okay, general.
The word general. Okay, so, starting at the top, language, it should say English, phone number, default country code, United States, maximum page size. I have mine set to 100. That you can see 100 emails. You can scroll down and see 100 emails. Okay? Once you get working, you have a lot of emails coming in, you want to have that set to 100. And then show 250 contacts per page. Next, it says images. You should click it saying always display external images. Auto advanced. The middle one should be checked. Go to the previous older conversation. Default reply behavior, reply, not reply all. You have to be very careful when you do reply all. Okay. I generally never do reply all unless there's a reason to do reply all. Most people's default mode is, I'm just going to reply to everyone. Nothing's private. And things can get very goofy, very bad, very quickly, because when you put something in writing, it's not the same as when you say it. Things are easily taken out of context. It's hard to get sarcasm across in writing. It makes it look like you're insulting someone. So you have to be very careful about reply all. Default text style, that should be sans serif. What is serif? What is a serif? Anybody know? Serif? Okay. So a serif, there's two kinds of letter styles. One, if it's an R, it looks like that. Another one, if it's an R, it looks like that. These little things on the sides are serifs. Serif has to do with wings or angels, seraphim. Okay? So letters, fonts that have little things on the end that aren't smooth, those are serif fonts. There's two types of fonts, serif and sans serif. Serif or without serif. Sans serif is easier to read. Serif is more elegant. And then it shows you what the text looks like. If you don't have good eyesight and you want to make the fonts larger, click on the text size. Mine is set for normal. Same thing with color. And you can remove formatting if you want.
So every time you do it, it shows you what it looks like?
Well, that's your default. So you can set up your default font style and size for you. Okay, you don't have to use the standard, what they come with. Conversation view on, send and archive, check the first one, show send and archive button in reply. That'll become more important later. You don't remember it now. Your undo send should be checked, right? Undo send, that's checked. Okay, because in labs we set that. Preview pane. So this is when you open an email after, I think the default is 3 seconds, it's going to show it as it's read. Stars. Yeah, you can do whatever, but shorter is better. Okay, shorter is better. Okay, drag the stars between the lists. The stars will rotate in the order shown below when you click successively to learn the name of the star. Okay. Again, this is a higher level, more advanced level of Gmail that I don't want to get into right now. It's not necessary at this stage of the game. Desktop notification. My mail notification is off. If you get a lot of emails, this becomes very cumbersome. You don't want it on your desktop. We turned it on, so on your tab, it tells you how many emails, new emails you have. Okay, now, the most important thing is your signature. So on the screen, I have a signature. And what you want to do is take an email from me or somebody who has their signature set up. You go into the email, you copy my signature, and you paste it in this box where it says signature. You paste it in this box right here. So you want to check the button that says signature. When you have more than one email that you can send from, you can have a different signature for every email that you can send from. So what you want to do is you want to copy my signature into your email.
I think I already have.
If you have it, it'll be on there. We'll already say Lisa. Copy my signature, and then to the left of mine, change it. So change my name to your name, but don't delete my name first. Add your name, and then delete my name, because that will keep the formatting. And your title should be student. If you have a phone, use your phone number, the fax numbers to the school, and then you can leave everything else. That's a professional signature. When you send people an email and it has that signature on it, they will be impressed. They'll say, oh, okay, this person knows what they're doing.
Then you have to copy it and paste it in.
So if you don't have an email from me, and everybody should have received a welcome to Larson email, if you sent me an email, you should have gotten one from me that should be in your inbox. And what you want to make sure you have is also the disclaimer at the bottom. When you're done, make sure you go to the bottom of the page and click Save Changes.
Can I do that now? Check if I go back or not?
Yeah, okay, figure it out. And then that way it can pass.
Okay, so it's just about break time. Who here has questions or in California?
Any questions here? Anyone? No, I think we're pretty much on it, Ed.
Okay, so the important thing, and we'll talk about this again tomorrow, the important thing about being professional is for people to perceive you as professional.
So if you go to your
That means you have to act like you're a professional.
Yes.
Yes?
How do we get other email addresses that we had before Gmail?
How do you do what?
Get other email addresses, like the emails I could send to other email addresses, how do we get them forwarded to Gmail?
How do you send from different emails?
No, like, to consolidate them. So if we want to consolidate them all in our one Gmail, how do we get those other emails?
Okay. So one way is you need to go into the other ones and forward it to your Gmail account. So you need to go into the settings for your other email accounts and forward it to your Gmail.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. Or in accounts and settings, you can go and import them into your Gmail. So under settings, under accounts and import, you go to the import section, you say you want to import it from a different account, and then you follow the instructions. Okay, the better choice is to forward from the other email account, because whenever an email comes into that account, it's going to forward it immediately. If you do the import, it might import once an hour, once a day, once every 6 hours. It's not going to be as fast. So the best thing is go into settings for your other email and forward the emails to your Gmail account.
Okay, settings and forward. Okay.
Okay, any other questions in California?
Any other questions, anyone? No, Ed?
Okay, well, hopefully tomorrow I'll be able to tell you when I will be there and when Nolan Bushnell will be coming.
Okay, we look forward to it.
Okay, any questions here? Here, any questions here? Okay, great.
We'll see you
Thanks,
tomorrow.
everyone.
Thank you.